Hello, Star Citizen fans. It's Gloith here. Wanted to talk about the mini PU tonight. Um, for those that don't know, I've been doing a few videos of how to deal with the lower FPS. The server, the CPU getting bottlenecked because of the extra stress on it from the server. Because right now only 3 cores are running on the servers, and it's been causing some massive FPS loss. And as you can see, um, CPU thread 3 is still pretty utilized. It's at 97, bouncing. It's almost 100%, so that's a pretty normal scenario. But one thing I want to talk about is, there's been some people saying, well, it's all CryEngine related. It's not all CryEngine related. It is massively server related right now. So if you look at the upper right hand side, you're probably going to see something you're probably gasping at, like, oh my god, is that really 80 FPS? Yes, that is really 80 FPS right now, folks. And that's because we are not connected to the server. Yep, you heard it. We're not connected to the server. And what does that tell us? That tells us that the FPS that you are experiencing is server related. Most of the loss, most of the unplayable loss. I would say half of the performance loss is because of the server. But this shouldn't be new news, right? We've had plenty of people from CryEngine, from Star Citizen, the RSI team, talking about it. It's a server, right? They're on 3 cores. And if they wanted to give us this 78, FPS, they could. They really could, but they would be burning through some cache, pretty fast, and that wouldn't be a good use of backer money. And they understand that, and that's why they're not doing that. They want to refine it. They want to make it as efficient as possible. They also want to make the client side also a little bit better too. But for those folks that say, well, it's just CryEngine will never give us a good playable frame rate, that's bullshit. It is. It will. As you can see, I'm easily at a playable frame rate, even with unoptimized client code. So don't you worry, it'll get there. But I still think it's still important to bring up the client side, and that's where I'll dive in. If you look in the upper left-hand side, I'm still at pretty much a CPU bottleneck. My Twin Titans are bouncing between 65% utilization, to about 75, right? So there is a noticeable CPU bottleneck even on the client side, and that's something that CIG is going to have to address, right? They will, and it means that it's even more important that we get DirectX 12, that we get Vulkan into this game. That's going to help tremendously. Or even some, proper DirectX 11 optimization. But you know what? They're in the building mode. They're not up in the cleaning mode, right? So, and if, some people have, watched the latest around the verse, right? There's things that they're going to work on to try and make things more efficient, right? So they'll get there. Don't worry. So, if you're concerned that CryEngine can't do it, no, it can. Even in its current state, they would just have to throw a lot of power at the servers, which again, we don't want them doing that, not yet. But it will get there, so don't you worry. So, all right, I hope you folks enjoyed the video. Thank you.